Hello friends, I am Sunil Mani, Faculty for Information Technology for Regional College Karad. Today we have to learn a subject Information Technology. In Information Technology, our first topic is Advanced Web Design. Okay. Here, Advanced Web Design. For that purpose, we have to learn various elements which are newly inserted in the HTML. For that purpose, we have to use HTML5. And HTML5 is used for the mobile technology. In HTML5, there are newly features which are not present in HTML2, 3, and in that HTML5, we have to study cascading style sheet. It is one of the features used to design a web. Cascading style sheet. Cascading style sheet. Short form is CSS. Cascading style sheets means the styles which is applied on the web or web page. There are different styles are applied on the web page. Basically, for that purpose, we have to learn three methods. That methods are Inline Css. Second is internal CSS. Third is external CSS. Inline CSS, external CSS, internal CSS. These are the basic types of CSS. Okay, cascading style sheets. For that purpose, we have to know the syntax of CSS. The syntax for the CSS are selector, curly bracket, in curly bracket there is a declaration, and in the declaration there is a property and value. Property and value. Okay, property and value means syntax of the CSS are divided into the selector and declaration part. Okay, there are number of properties and values. For example, property 1, property 2, property 3, and value 1, value 2, value 3. These are the values and properties in this declaration part. Okay, therefore CSS is divided into the selector and declaration part. The syntax is, it is a selector and it is a declaration part. Okay, declaration parts is divided into the property and value, and property and value are separated by colon and end with semicolon. Separated by colon and end with semicolon. Okay, in the selector is nothing but the name of the HTML element or tag. For example, H1, P tag, H3, etc. Okay, the tags are written in angular bracket. Okay, then declaration block. This is a selector. The declaration block is made up by the property and values. Property and value. Declaration part is made up by property and value. And these properties are property 1, property 2, as well as values are value 1, value 2. Okay? For example, here, and these are enclosed in curly bracket. For example, font, size, colon, 12 and semicolon. Okay? Properties and values are separated by colon and end with semicolon. Okay? Then types of CSS. Types of CSS. These are the basic syntax for the CSS, which is made up by selector and declaration block. Then types of CSS. Types of CSS. Okay. There is basically 3 types. It is inline CSS. Second is internal or embedded CSS, and third one is external CSS. Okay. Then we have to study here. First up is inline CSS. Why it is called as inline CSS? Because the CSS is made in the same program or at the same place, therefore it is called as a inline CSS. Okay? For that purpose, we have to know here the basic program for the HTML, and we have to apply here the syntax of the CSS. In inline CSS, here we write the same program here for the HTML doc type, then HTML. Student, you are familiar with HTML program. What is the structure of HTML program? Here, HTML head, title, ABC, title close, head close. This is body tag, and in inline CSS, the style tag is used as attribute of the any tag. In inline CSS, we use here style tag is attribute of any tag. For example, here p tag, an attribute of p tag is style, and style is equal to, in double quotation marks, here color. Here check the color, spelling of the color, COLOR, it is not COLOUR, color, and which is separated by colon, blue, and end with semicolon, double quotation, complete, which is written in a tag mark. Tag is always denoted in an angular bracket. Okay, and here we write a sentence, sgm for h, Karan, p tag close, body close, HTML close. In the first type, here, in the first type, tag is used as an attribute of any tag, which is written in a tag mark or angular bracket and applied on any statement or sentence. In inline CSS, if we have to apply CSS on a single statement or single line, then we have to use inline CSS. Very important statement here. If we have to apply, we have to make a style on single line or statement, then use inline CSS. Okay. Use inline CSS. That is the first basic types inline. Inline are used if we have to make style on a single statement or single line. Okay. Then another type is internal CSS or embedded CSS. Second type is internal CSS or embedded CSS. Embedded means merged, or internally it makes internal change, therefore it is called as an internal CSS. In internal CSS, style tag is written in a head tag. First sentence, keep in your mind. Style tag is written in head tag. That is a very important sentence. Style tag is written in a head tag. Okay. Then see a program for the internal CSS. Internal CSS, for that purpose, there is doc type, HTML, head, okay, title. Here is title is for the title. Any statement written in a title which is displayed on a browser's title bar. Internal CSS, title close, okay, and here we have to write style tag. Then next we have to make a style. Here for example H1 is a selector, then curly bracket, it is a selector. In curly bracket it is called as a declaration block. A declaration block is always made up by property and values. For example, property 1, value 1, property 2, value 2, etc. etc. Then property, first property, then first property color. We have to take only one property or number of properties. We have to take here number of properties, but we have used here only one property, color. Color is red, green, yellow, and with semicolon. Okay. Color is red. Okay. And then here we close style. Head close. Okay. And next, after that head close, we will write here body tag. In body tag, write the name of the selector here, H1. H1 tag, H1 SGM college, Kara. Here H1 close, body close, HTML close. Okay. So here we have to make in internal CSS. We have to write style tag in the head tag, and in the style tag we have to write a selector and declaration block. Selector and declaration block. And selector is nothing but the name of the tag, and declaration block which is separated by properties and values. Okay. Then the tag which are used here, selector, these selectors are used in a body tag. This selector is used in a body section of the HTML program. For example, H1 then sgm college start, H1 close, body tag close, HTML close. These are the internal CSS. Therefore, in internal CSS, we have to write style tag in head tag, and for the in style tag we have to write here selector and declaration block, then style close, tail close. In body tag, whatever tag using for the formatting any text, name of that tag which is used in a selector in the program, and then body close, HTML close. It is a internal CSS. Internal CSS is used to apply style on whole page. Apply style on whole page. It is very important. Internal CSS is used to apply style on whole page. It is very important. We keep in your mind, this style is applied on a whole page. Okay, and then external style sheets. Third type is external style sheets. External style sheet. External style. Or external CSS. Okay. In external CSS, styles are applied externally, and in external CSS, the changes are made on a different or multiple pages. That is the feature of the external CSS. We have to make a change in a different or multiple pages, then we have to apply external CSS. For that purpose, we have to write two programs. First one, the HTML program that is save with .html extension, and second is CSS program which is saved with .css extension. Okay, .css extension. Then we have to write HTML program, which is the programs are divided in two parts. That is the first one, HTML program, and second is the CSS program, which is linked with the main program, that is the HTML program. And in that external CSS, link tag is used in a head tag. Very important features. Link tag is used in head tag. link tag is put in. Okay, there are attributes of link tag, that is the rel, type, href. These are the attributes usually in the link tag. Okay, then you have to write the HTML program. Doc type, exclamation mark, doc type, HTML, head. Okay, and within that head tag we have to write link tag. Link tag, the attribute of link tag is rel. First attribute, rel stands for relation. The relation is write as style sheet. Style sheet, it is constant. We have to write here style sheet. And type is, second attribute is type, which is, it may be text or CSS. It may be text or CSS. Okay, then href, third attribute href, hypertext reference. Href means hypertext reference. It is a part of the CSS file. It is a part of the CSS file. For example, it is on a desktop, then my document. In the my document, for example, any file, for example, name is here style, and the extension of that file is CSS, because the file is of the CSS style. Here in external CSS, in HTML program, link tag is used in a head tag. Okay, and the attribute of the link tag, there are three attributes: rel, type, and href. For that, rel stands for relation, type it may be text or CSS, and href, it is a part of the CSS file. Okay, then here close head tag, and in the body tag, apply here a style h1 sgm college card, h1 close, body close, HTML close. Okay, then it is a main or HTML program, but we are given here path, desktop, my document, and style.css. We have to write here second one is the first program, and second program is the style.css program. Okay, it is not written in a HTML format. Style.css program is written on any editor, but not in a format HTML format. Write only single line h1 selector, curly bracket, declaration block, properties and values, color blue, second property margin left, colon 20 pixels and end with semicolon. Okay, it is the second program which is saved as .css extension, and that part of that programs are given here in a HREM. Okay. For that purpose, we have learned here three types of CSS. First one, inline CSS, internal CSS. Third is external CSS. Why it is called as external? Because the style is applied externally, and that file is served as .css extension. Okay. It is the basic three types of the CSS. Basic three types of CSS.